The unexpected has finally happened. For the first time in a long while, a member of the House of Representatives has openly confronted the Speaker right inside plenary over the health of Nnamdi Kanu. Well, Honorable Obi Aguocha from Abia State, representing the Labour Party, no hold back at all this time around. He raised the matter boldly, saying Nnamdi Kanu's health condition is getting worse and that the government seems to be turning a blind eye. Even after several letters to the Speaker, the Attorney General and the President himself, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But the moment he tried to speak, everything scattered. Speaker Tajuddin Abbas immediately ruled him out of order, saying the issue wasn't a matter of privilege. But Aguocha no gree. He stood his ground, insisting it is not politics, it is a matter of life and death. The tension that filled that chamber, you could literally feel the heat from the screen, and just when everybody thought the matter would die down, the outcome of that confrontation led to something nobody expected. Watch this.
Can you walk us through what happened and why you felt this approach was necessary? You stated that Nnamdi Kanu is on the verge of death. What specific information do you have about his health condition that led you to make, such a grave assertion?
21st of August, I had paid a visit to my constituent, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, at the DSS detention. And when I met with him, honestly, I thought I was seeing a ghost-like figure. We discussed extensively, by which we had an intervention of his medical doctors to do a full assessment of him. And their conclusion, which was part of the report that I sent to Mr. President, that I sent to the Attorney General and to my Speaker, was the conclusion of the report was that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu had organ insufficiencies, including a low potassium count. You could also recall that during the rendition, the extraordinary rendition of him, his nose were broken and so many other issues that arose from that. So mainly what I was saying to the Attorney General and to the Mr. President and to my Speaker was for them to urgently intervene to give him adequate medical treatment, and at the same time for them to constitute their own panel, government panel, to reassess Mazen Nnamdi Kanu with a view to look at the medical report that was in existence, which was his own medical report. And the Attorney General actually constituted a medical team to reevaluate Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Upon their evaluation, they even went further than Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's team of doctors to also verify that there were other issues that even were not captured by Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's doctors. So the court in its sitting also instituted another panel of Nigerian Medical Association to independently verify the other two reports and assess Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. So we are still waiting for the NMA report to be made available to the court so that we can look at how far that he has gone into the deterioration of his health. But Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, make no, we should not be under any illusion. He's sick. And if his health is not managed away from the primary health centers that he's been managed at the DSS facilities, what we are requesting for Mr. President is for him to intervene to have DSS transfer Mazen Nnamdi Kanu from a primary healthcare type facility to an adequate tertiary health facility anywhere in the country so that his health can be managed effectively. Otherwise, if by providence that they allow Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to continue to deteriorate and he dies in detention, it will be catastrophic and volatile, especially in the Southeast, for them to manage. What we want is for the government to be circumspect about it and look at it critically, that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has a fundamental human right. He has neither been convicted for any crime in Nigeria, nor, so that for him, the same right that should be availed to me or to any other Nigerian should also be accorded to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. His health is very paramount and must be treated accordingly. We've received a commitment from Mr. Speaker on the floor of the House of Representatives that he will allow for a proper motion to be brought to the House of Representatives for consideration. So within the next few days or within the next week, we hope to bring a proper motion for the consideration of the House of Representatives and for the House of Representatives to take a position on that, to which will determine whether Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has a fundamental right to be given adequate treatment while in detention. So I'm happy that even though that we came through member privilege, that the Speaker has also agreed to allow for a proper motion to be put forth, and then when we hope, what we hope with not just myself, but in collaboration with other members, especially of the Southeast Caucus of the House of Representatives, that we all come together and stand up and demand for urgent intervention of Mr. Speaker of the House of Representatives and indeed Nigeria to ensure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is given adequate treatment that he so deserves.
All right. Now, I'd like to discuss a few topics here. Some Nigerians are now calling for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. We are seeing these hashtag Free Nnamdi Kanu all over social media, including Vice President Atiku Abubakar, activist Omoyele Sowore, and other Southeast leaders. And I know that this is coming especially after we saw reports from the North Katsina State, specifically of officials holding peace meetings with terrorist leaders under Operation Safe Corridor with pledges of reconciliation. I mean, meanwhile, we know that Nnamdi Kanu, who I believe was discharged at one point in 2022 by the Court of Appeal, remains in detention. And these are the conversations that we're seeing online. Now, how do you reconcile these apparent double standards in the government's approach in dealing with Nnamdi Kanu's case? Now, do you believe there is any sort of ethnic or regional dimension to how the federal government treats security challenges in the Southeast versus the Northwest?
Yeah, thank you very much for that question, OJ. Clearly, Section 40 of the Nigerian Constitution as amended guarantees the right to peaceful assembly and association. So I'm very happy that despite the veil and the veil of silence that has existed all over the country, Nigerians are waking up to their responsibility and demanding for justice for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And if it takes for them to have a peaceful protest, then that's what it will take. I've endorsed that, that we all should speak up now. The truth is that in Nigeria there appear to exist two sets of rules. One specifically for the Igbos and another for the other Nigerians, especially in the administration of criminal justice in Nigeria, where an Igbo man, goes through a whole lot of challenges than any other tribe in Nigeria. That bias, I don't know where it exists and comes from, maybe since after the post-Civil War. But we are all Nigerians, regardless of our ethnic backgrounds, regardless of our cultural backgrounds. The same right that exists for a Northerner, for a Yoruba man, for any other tribe otherwise minded, is the same right that should exist for the Igbo man. There shouldn't be any special exceptions. I mean, look at Nnamdi Kanu. See, look at what we are fighting is even to get treatment. There are a whole lot of people in that gap previously that were held by the state that even demanded to go overseas to get treatment for their ailments. But in Nnamdi Kanu, it seems that we have to go 10 steps further, sometimes more challenges, uphill task, to even get the government to consider giving adequate medical treatment to Nnamdi Kanu. You also look at in the administration of criminal justice, the charges that have been put forth to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, when others that were also in the same gap were pardoned or exonerated by the court, at the determination of the court, they were free. But Nnamdi Kanu has been subjected for 10 years in trial. 10 years in trial, and to no end would that happen. So, but as of today, a lot of Nigerians are coming together to say enough is enough. Look at the recent pardon of Mr. President. He pardoned everybody, even those who are drug lords, those who have murdered people in the country. Yet Nnamdi Kanu has not been proved either through the court testimonies of witnesses or otherwise mandate that he has committed any offense. Yet he's been subjugated and he's been subjected to almost like his rights as a person have been dehumanized. So what we are asking for is for the government to be able to look critically on the issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, to ensure that fundamentally that this is the aspirations and hope of people, especially of the Igbo tribe, that if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is released, it will bring about, it will bring security in the Southeast, it will enhance productivity, and at the same time allow the Igbos to freely be engaged in various activities that Igbos are running away from because of high crime and criminality, banditry and assassination. So for Mr. President, it will also help Mr. President consolidate his goodwill in the Southeast. But for him, and then you look at, I'm sorry to say, but when you look at his prosecution team, every member of his prosecution team are Yoruba. So the judge is Yoruba. It now appears as if it's a war between the Yoruba tribe and the Igbo tribe. It shouldn't be like that. So for us, it is critically important for the government to be circumspect about this, and the Igbos are asking for it, and that this is our this is our hope and aspiration, that the president can consider universally the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, so that Southeast can return to peace, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can come to his family and be engaged in productive activities as he has been previously. That he's demanding and demanding for the welfare and well-being of his people is not not a crime. Right. Anybody can demand for the betterment of their people. After all, their people, which are the Igbos, themselves have felt exceedingly marginalized in this project called Nigeria. But we are Nigerians. We need to come together and work together, hand in hand, to ensure that what is good for the other tribes and what is good for every other person is also good for the Igbo man, and begin to stop this hatred, biases that occur when it's an Igbo man than otherwise stated. So
you see, this whole incident inside the House of Representatives don't open another chapter entirely. For years now, Nnamdi Kanu case don dey drag like say justice gets favorites. How person go remain in detention even after several court rulings and still no concrete step from the government to resolve am? The way Honorable Aguocha take challenge the speaker shows say even people inside the government don't tire of the silence. Because truth be told, this no be about politics again. This na about humanity. If somebody dey sick, the least the system fit do is give am proper medcare. And now that the House has finally agreed to debate the matter, Nigerians dey watch closely, sincerely speaking. Will this lead to a political solution or just another promise that go fade away after 1 week? And let's not forget, Omoyele Sowore and some people are planning a nationwide protest on behalf of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Only time go tell, but for now, one thing sure, this voice from the parliament might just be the beginning of something different. I remain your Toxicity guy. Make we keep watching, keep asking questions, and keep the conversation alive. I beg before you go, do me a favor, like and share this video. And if you enjoyed this update, you want more like this, it is easy. Hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you no go miss an update. Till next time, stay safe and stay sharp.